Sega.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the latest Total War Warhammer campaign walkthrough video. Today we're focusing on the dwarven clan of Angrund, led by King Belegar Ironhammer, made available with the new DLC pack The King and the Warlord. Belegar's overriding campaign objectives are to reconquer Karak 8 Peaks, his ancestral hold, and destroy the Crooked Moon clan, led by the Night Goblin warlord Skarsnik, usurper of Karak 8 Peaks.
Clan Angrund is adrift, my lord Belegar, yet hope remains. The dwarf lords of Karak Izor have sponsored your quest to retake your ancestral home. A chance yet lingers. The journey will be long and perilous. There is much ground between here and your throne, and enemies are everywhere. To the north, the treacherous and duplicitous Skarsnik, self-proclaimed warlord of Karak 8 Peaks, moves to usurp your birthright once more. Time is of the essence. Yet in the east, the Badlands teem with more greenskins, and even the border princes may wish to exploit your plight. You must not relent. Through your rage and determination, the fortress of Karak 8 Peaks shall be returned to dwarf rule once again, with you, Belegar Ironhammer, as its rightful king.
Okay, as you saw from the campaign introduction there, Belegar begins play with the province capital of Karak Izor to his name, putting him some distance away from his goal of Karak 8 Peaks in the eastern Badlands. However, Belegar's nemesis Skarsnik doesn't start far away, putting the two on an almost inevitable collision course, as Karak 8 Peaks to the east is a key objective for both factions. Now Belegar begins play with a pretty awesome little retinue to his name. 4 of his clan Angrund ancestors returned from the grave to fight by his side in ghostly form. They are dwarven hero archetypes, so you get a master engineer, a runesmith, and 2 thanes, including King Lun himself.
By the King's command.
They all have the ethereal trait and begin play at level 5 as well, with some predefined skills in place. Now this gives Belegar's forces some instant punch, as they can be packed into his army or used individually to perform their various actions around the campaign map, and they don't cost any upkeep either. Which is quite fortunate really, because until Belegar regains Karak 8 Peaks, he suffers from a whopping 50% penalty to all unit upkeep costs. This means that you'll be running your budget on a shoestring in the early stages of the campaign, and you'll be desperate to gain and develop more settlements. This campaign is rated hard for a reason. You only begin with Karak Izor to your name, so a valid early gambit is to grab the rest of the province by capturing Karak Bufdar and Zarakzil here from the Broken Nose tribe. So let's get a couple of ancestors on board and head down south to begin our work.
Lord of the Angrund.
We'll leave these 2 by Karak Izor, as we have other plans for them. Now, Belegar starts with 2 units of rangers in his army, the new dwarven warriors introduced by the King and the Warlord, and they fulfill a distinctly different niche from Quarreler Crossbowmen or Thunderer Riflemen. Rangers are stealthy first strike warriors, as they have the Stalk and Vanguard deployment traits. They're also faster and more nimble than almost every other dwarf unit in the game, which means they're useful as a mobile reserve, and they're much easier to reposition and keep a steady rain of arrows on their targets. They're also pretty handy in a frontline scrap. If we take a look at their building chain in Karak Izor, we can see that Clan Angrund gets the option to build a ranger outpost at settlement level 1. Now this is a real bonus for Belegar and his clan. Quote-unquote regular dwarves led by Thorgrim, Ungrim or Grombrindle and beginning play at Karaz a Karak just don't get to build ranger outposts until their settlement chain is at level 3. The first building in the chain enables recruitment of basic rangers, whilst the barracks upgrade brings rangers bearing great weapons. Now these sacrifice a percentage of crossbow range for higher melee attack and armour-piercing damage. And at the treetops we find the elite Bugman's Rangers. Now these guys don't come cheap, but there's a good reason for that. Equipped with drafts of Bugman's liquid fortification, they constantly replenish hit points in battle. The effect is lost if their leadership wavers, and they are somewhat less accurate archers whilst under the influence, naturally, but on balance it brings them a surprising level of survivability. Overall, you'll find Rangers particularly useful in Belegar's army, and that's down to his unique battle skills. Tactical Acumen confers up to a 25% missile damage buff and 12% more ammo for Rangers in his army, and Mountaineering reduces their upkeep by up to 15%. Over in the tech tree, Rangers also benefit from some of the various ranged missile techs that apply normally to Quarrelers and Thunderers, further improving stats such as their recruitment cost, damage and reload time. A quick glance at the building tree shows us that the basic siege workshop now also provides the classic Dwarven bolt thrower. Fast firing and with the anti-large and armour-piercing traits, they're great for whittling away at giants, trolls and arachnaroks from afar. Usefully, they also have some magic resistance and the siege attacker trait like other artillery, so you can forego turns of siege engine construction before a siege battle if you judge that your army has the chops to get stuck in and crest the walls immediately. Even thus armed, however, a Clan Angrund throng is going to have a hard time of it in the early stages. That military upkeep penalty is a long old thorn in your side right up until you retake Carrack 8 Peaks, so you'll need every bit of income and goodwill that you can lay your hands on. We've already mentioned establishing ownership of the Volts province in its entirety, and while Belegar traipses down there to secure the settlements, it's well worth recruiting a fresh lord to act as a sentinel over Carrack Izor. He'll lead the garrison in battle if the settlement is attacked, and he'll make a dramatic difference if you choose to auto-resolve an attack. If you can afford to recruit a few extra rangers to his force as well, all the better, and you can make the garrison more robust still by packing in an ancestor hero. This should keep opportunistic greenskins such as the Black Venom tribe based here in Carrack Agazar and the roving Savage Orc Skulltakers at bay, and buy Belegar time to get the job done down south. But there's a lot more you can do to improve matters in the Clan Angrund early game. Scout out the surrounding terrain with an ancestor hero early on and make contact with as many potential allies as you can. The dwarfen clans of Carrack Norn and Carrack Hern are nearby, and if you can keep them from squabbling and present a united front, they can really help you stand strong against Skarsnik as he gathers his forces. Likewise, the Border Princes can make a valuable ally in the northwestern reaches of the Badlands, throw money at people and get as many trade deals on the table as you can. And if you can make contact with the dwarfs and get an alliance in place with Thorgrim and co, this will pay dividends later when the time comes to tackle Carrack 8 Peaks itself. But perhaps most importantly to your survival, take down Skarsnik and the Crooked Moon tribe as a matter of priority. He gets a staggering 40% recruitment and upkeep cost reduction to all goblin units, meaning he'll be running around the place with multiple sneaky army stacks before long, and as those armies win battles, they'll start generating war armies of their own. When this happens, it's only a matter of time before you find yourself drowning in a hot, squiggy mess. So make friends, set war coordination targets, trade your little beard off, and use every tool at your disposal to deal with Belegar's nemesis and strike him down for good.
I stand defiant.